Good afternoon. My name is Mr. Reggie Smith. Here is my colleague, Ms. Anna Calder and Ms. Nina Russell. Today we will be doing the topic food chain. We will begin the lesson with a short video.
Smile and learn. Hello, hello. How are you today? I have a question for you. Do you like food? I love food. It gives us the energy we need to play, study, think, and be healthy. I'm sure you know that without food, no living thing can survive. Living things get energy from the food we eat. Some can produce their own food, while others get energy by eating plants or other animals. The way energy passes from one living thing to another is called a food chain. Have you ever heard of food chains? We are going to look at them now, but I'm getting a little hungry. So first, I'm going to take a bite of my lamb chops. Yummy! So, what is a food chain anyways? It's a diagram that shows how living things are connected by what they eat. In other words, it tells us how plants and animals depend on each other for food. In fact, I'm part of a food chain right now. Let's see what the food chain looks like when I eat my lamb chops. At the first level, we have grass, a plant that produces its own food through photosynthesis. Then, on the second level, we have a lamb, which eats the grass. Finally, I'm on the last level because I eat the meat from the lamb. There are many food chains. Let's look at another more complex example. Picture a beautiful flower. When the flower needs energy, it makes it from the sun, water, and nutrients from the soil through photosynthesis. But along comes a very hungry caterpillar, and it eats the flower. And then along comes a very, very hungry bird, so it eats the caterpillar. But later, a super hungry coyote comes along and eats the bird. Wow! Now, this story gets a little sad, but it's something that happens to all living things. After a long and happy life, our coyote dies. But don't worry, this is when things get interesting. Now it's time for the bacteria and fungi to do their job. We can't see them, but they're everywhere. They will eat the coyote's body. When they do so, they turn the coyote into nutrients that the plants can use to make their own food. Amazing, right? And so the food chain starts again. As you can see, food chains have different levels, which we call trophic levels. Let's learn about them. Food chains can start with an autotrophic plant or producer that makes its own food. In the example from before, the flower is our producer. But, as we know, not all living things can produce their own food. These living beings are called heterotrophs, and they eat other living things to get energy.
Animals that eat producers are called primary consumers. In this food chain, the caterpillar is our primary consumer.
Next, there are animals that eat the primary consumers. These are called secondary consumers. like the bird in this food chain. Then, animals that eat the secondary consumers are called tertiary consumers, like the coyote in our example. Finally, the fungi and bacteria that decompose the tertiary consumers when they die are the decomposers. Decomposers are very important because they restart the food chain. Thanks to them, it begins all over again. Remember that all living things need energy to live. A food chain helps us to see where living things get their energy. There are different levels within food chains. Let's see if you can put them in order.
Good. So from looking at the video, can anybody define food chain in their own words for me? Open up. Very good. Give a high five to children. Good. So he's correct. A food chain shows the flow of energy from the producer to the consumer. So there are two types of food chain. Can anybody name two types of food chain for me? One is aquatic and what's the other one?
Terrestrial.
Terrestrial. Very good. Can you tell me which one is water and which one is land? Aquatic is water and the terrestrial is land. Very good. Say food chain.
Yes, miss.
Can anybody name parts of the food chain for me? Yes, Ramel. We have the producers and the consumer. Good. Do you know there's levels to the consumer? What are they? Primary, secondary, and tertiary. Very good. Yes, that's a little clap. Good. Now I have a food chain here. Right? Can anybody identify the tertiary consumer here? Is there? The eagle. Good, the eagle. And which one here is the producer? The producer. The grass. And the primary consumer here is the grass. Very good. And what about the secondary consumers now? Snake and frog. Good afternoon, everyone. Today we have a lovely activity for you to hear. Who's happy? Me too. So let's go into it. Everybody have a paper?
Yes, miss.
This part of the video go mute, right? Or whatever the missing. So here, on this worksheet here, you're going to cut out the little frog, the little grass, the snake, and the grasshopper. And you're going to put it in order. Who understands? This one here is the word below to complete the food chain. And this paper here, who have this? Good. You're going to take what is food chain, name and list our two types of food chain, and draw an example of any type of food chain. Understand? Yes. Okay. Yes. Very good.
เป็น What? How fish to eat cat, mate? Another.
It'll be. Okay, and let's not forget one of the parts in the chain. There is an arrow. And anybody tell me what arrow represents?
The animal.
Yes. Arrow shows flow of energy. Right? Good. So what have we learned today? Food chain. About food chain. Can anybody tell me what is a food chain?
Food chain is a flow of energy from the producer to the consumer.
Very good. And there are so many types of food chain. 3, 4, 2. How many? 2 types. There are 2 types of food chain, right? Say, not 4. Okay. And what are the 2 types of food chain? Very good, Ariana. Aquatic and terrestrial. Very good. Give Ariana a clap. We also look at the different parts of the food chain, right? And we know that the food chain always begins with a producer. And the producer could be a grass, a flower, a plant, that's right? And there is something that consumes, that eat this plant, this producer. What is it called? Not a grasshopper, a consumer, right? So after that, we have after the producer, we have the consumer. We start with the primary consumer. Then after the primary is the secondary consumer. And the last one is the last consumer is called
Tertiary.
very good. So that's a lot, right?